In the peaceful grove of Jetavana, the Buddha's presence brought serenity to those gathered for his teachings. Amid the rustling of leaves, disciples sat in reverent silence, waiting for the enlightened one to share his wisdom. The Buddha spoke gently, his voice resonating like the steady flow of a tranquil river weaving through ancient forests. "O bhikkhus," he began, "life is a journey of balance. Like the musician who tunes his instrument to achieve harmony, balance does not come from extremes, but from the middle path, which ensures peace and mindful engagement with all endeavors." Among the disciples, a young man named Kashava rose and bowed deeply before the Buddha, seeking guidance for his struggles. "Kashava, speak freely," the Buddha said, his gaze kind and unwavering, inviting the troubled disciple to unburden his heart. Kashava said, "Master, my duties overwhelm me. I toil each day, leaving no time for my spirit to find rest. My body grows weary, my mind restless, and my heart heavy. What should I do to regain my balance?" "Teacher?" The Buddha listened attentively, his silence encouraging Kashava to continue, releasing the depths of his turmoil without hesitation. "Kashava, your toil is like a flame, burning brightly yet consuming the oil that sustains its glow," Buddha said softly. "Without care, the flame will falter and extinguish, leaving darkness behind. To preserve balance, nurture both effort and stillness." He shared the story of a farmer named Ananda, who worked tirelessly yet neglected the nourishment of his body and soul. Ananda's fields prospered initially, but his strength waned with neglect, and he struggled to sustain his once thriving crops. One day, Ananda's ox collapsed in the heat, and his fields turned barren, casting shadows upon his relentless ambitions. Seeking counsel, Ananda approached the Buddha, who welcomed him with compassion and shared the importance of harmony in all actions. "Ananda," the Buddha had said, "balance is the heart of life's rhythm, not merely the absence of work or rest. Consider the ox that plows your fields. It thrives only with nourishment, rest, and tender care from its owner. So too must you tend to your body, mind, and spirit, allowing each their due time to flourish and recover." The Buddha turned his gaze to Kashava, his words carrying the weight of wisdom polished by countless shared lessons. "Reflect upon your days, young Kashava. Seek balance by examining how your efforts bring peace to yourself and others. Let your labors be purposeful yet gentle, and allow moments of quiet introspection to restore your weary spirit." Kashava bowed deeply, his face alight with clarity and renewed determination to practice mindful reflection in daily life. The disciples listened intently, absorbing the Buddha's words like raindrops nourishing parched soil eager for growth and renewal. One disciple asked, "Master, how can we ensure our reflections lead to meaningful change and not become idle daydreams?" The Buddha smiled, answering, "True reflection is active and purposeful, bringing clarity and guiding actions with wisdom rooted in awareness. Idle thoughts often lead to confusion, while mindful reflection offers a path to harmony, much like the compass to a traveler." The disciples nodded, committing themselves to daily practices of deliberate reflection upon their deeds and intentions, ensuring balance in their lives. The grove filled with the hum of cicadas as the disciples contemplated the Buddha's teachings. Etched deeply within their hearts, a merchant named Sumitra stepped forward, his face lined with years of labor and a thirst for material success. "Blessed teacher, I fear I strive for wealth at the expense of my family's happiness and my peace of mind." Sumitra knelt humbly before the Buddha, seeking solace and guidance from the enlightened one in his moment of vulnerability. The Buddha's gaze softened, acknowledging the merchant's turmoil as an opportunity for reflection and wisdom to illuminate his burdened heart. "Sumitra, balance is the art of letting go," the Buddha began, his tone measured and soothing to the anxious merchant. Attachments to possessions or outcomes bind us, like heavy chains weighing the wings of a bird wishing to soar. To live freely and harmoniously, release what you cannot carry with ease. Share your burdens and find joy in simplicity. The Buddha recounted the tale of a bird who filled her nest with stones, believing they would protect her from harm. Though the nest grew heavy, the bird carried it, struggling to fly until her wings faltered, grounding her forever. A storm scattered the stones, leaving her unburdened but exposed, teaching her the cost of clinging to illusory security. Samitra, balance flows through generosity, much like water shared freely from a fountain that nourishes all who gather around it. Samitra bowed deeply, his heart lighter with newfound resolve to share his wealth and treasure moments with his loved ones. The Buddha smiled gently, witnessing the blossoming realization within Samitra's spirit, a seed of balance nurtured by compassion and wisdom. The disciples reflected upon their own attachments and resolved to practice generosity and gratitude, safeguarding their spirits from undue weight. Thus the day ended with the Buddha's teachings filling the grove like lanterns lighting the path to harmony and peace. Each disciple resolved to carry the wisdom of the middle path into their lives, finding balance through reflection and mindful actions. The stories the Buddha shared resonated within their hearts, a testament to the enduring legacy of his compassionate guidance. Jetavana's tranquil grove became a sanctuary of balance, where the Buddha's words inspired disciples to embrace the harmony of life's rhythm. Another day, the grove of Jetavana basked in sunlight, its tranquility undisturbed as disciples gathered for the Buddha's teachings. The Buddha sat under a sal tree, radiating calmness that invited disciples to approach him with their burdens and queries. Samitra, the merchant, approached hesitantly, his ornate chest of gold clutched tightly, his eyes clouded with worry and doubt. "Blessed teacher," Samitra began, "I labor to accumulate wealth, yet I fear its loss and neglect my family's happiness and peace." The Buddha looked upon Samitra with compassion, sensing the weight of attachment and anxiety carried by the troubled merchant. "Samitra, attachments bind us like heavy chains, restricting our spirits and exhausting our minds with the illusion of security," Buddha said. "Life's harmony lies in releasing what burdens us, allowing generosity and gratitude to nurture joy and connection with others." He continued. He shared a tale of a bird who filled her nest with stones, believing they would shield her from harm. The bird carried the heavy nest each day, her wings straining under its weight, until she could no longer fly. One storm scattered the stones, leaving her unburdened but vulnerable, teaching her the cost of clinging to illusions. Samitra, share your riches generously, like water flowing freely from a fountain that nourishes all who gather around it. Recognize that true wealth lies in moments shared with loved ones, unhindered by attachments to material possessions, the Buddha advised. Samitra bowed deeply, his heart lighter as he resolved to cherish his family and share his wealth to bring joy. The disciples listened intently, reflecting on their own attachments and recognizing the importance of practicing gratitude and generosity. One disciple asked, "Master, how can we distinguish between necessary possessions and attachments that weigh upon our spirits?" The Buddha smiled, answering, "Necessary possessions serve your well-being, while attachments arise from desire, hindering your peace and clouding your judgment. Release what binds your heart in fear and longing, embracing simplicity that nurtures balance and clarity," the Buddha said gently. A farmer named Ravi stepped forward, seeking guidance for the pressures of providing for his family while preserving harmony in life. "Great teacher, I work tirelessly for my family, yet neglect the moments we could share. How may I balance my duties?" The Buddha turned to Ravi, his eyes filled with understanding, as he began to share another story of profound wisdom. Ravi. There was once a potter who shaped beautiful vessels, pouring his energy into each creation with meticulous care. Buddha began. But as his reputation grew, he worked endlessly, neglecting his family, until their bonds became fragile like unbaked clay. Buddha continued. One day, the potter dropped a vase, shattering it, and realized his efforts lacked balance, leaving his life fragmented. Ravi. Balance is the art of preserving life's connections, nourishing both your labors and your relationships with equal care. Buddha advised. Set aside time to celebrate the moments shared with loved ones, for they sustain your spirit as food sustains the body. Ravi bowed humbly, vowing to dedicate time to his family and nurture the harmony of his work and home. The grove grew quieter as the disciples absorbed the Buddha's teachings, each reflecting upon their own lives and attachments. Amala, a young woman, approached the Buddha, her eyes filled with tears, seeking comfort for her deep feelings of inadequacy. Blessed teacher, I struggle to find joy in my work and peace in my home. Burdened by the pursuit of perfection, the Buddha gazed at Amala, sensing her yearning for balance and the weight of expectations pressing heavily upon her heart. Amala, balance is found not in perfection but in acceptance, allowing life's imperfections to enrich its beauty and meaning. Buddha said. He shared the tale of a gardener who sought to grow the perfect rose, dedicating her days to meticulous care. Though the roses bloomed beautifully, she overlooked the simple joy of their fragrance, exhausting herself with unattainable ideals of perfection. One day, she sat among the blooms, embracing their imperfections, and found peace in their beauty's fleeting yet profound essence. Amala. Celebrate the moments of joy and peace in your work and home, for they reflect life's inherent balance. Buddha advised. Amala wiped her tears, vowing to embrace imperfection and seek fulfillment in the journey rather than the destination. The disciples bowed deeply, committing themselves to the practices of generosity, acceptance, and gratitude. Guided by the Buddha's timeless wisdom, the grove's tranquility remained undisturbed as the teachings resonated deeply within the hearts of those seeking life's harmony and balance. The Buddha's words echoed like ripples across a still pond, touching all who came to hear his compassionate and illuminating guidance. Another day, the grove of Jetavana shone under the silver moonlight, its quiet beauty mirrored in the stillness of the disciples. The Buddha sat among them, his presence serene and inviting, as the cool night air carried the fragrance of blooming flowers. A young woman named Amala approached him, her eyes reflecting the ache of uncertainty and the weight of impermanence in life. Venerable teacher, Amala began, her voice trembling, I seek joy in my life, yet it vanishes as swiftly as it appears. My work brings fleeting satisfaction, my home offers brief solace, and my heart longs for peace that does not fade. The Buddha gazed at her with deep compassion, sensing the turmoil within her, a reflection of life's transient nature. Amala, impermanence is the essence of existence, the Buddha said, his voice calm yet profound, resonating in the still night. Life flows like a river, ever changing, and balance arises not from resisting change but embracing it with grace. He shared a story of two friends, Anand and Suman, who loved to dance under the stars each evening in joy. Their village was destroyed by a storm, yet they chose to rebuild it together, finding strength in their unbroken bond. Though their dance transformed into labor, their connection deepened, teaching them to find beauty in life's ever-evolving rhythm. Amala. Like Anand and Suman, you must move with life's changing melodies, finding balance in each moment's unique rhythm. Do not cling to what has passed or fear what is to come. Trust in the renewal change brings. Amala bowed deeply, her heart lightened by the Buddha's wisdom. Resolving to embrace impermanence and live each moment fully, the disciples listened intently, reflecting on their own fears of change and resolving to practice acceptance and presence in life. A young monk, Kashava, stepped forward, his voice steady but his words revealing an inner conflict he struggled to resolve. Master, how can I reconcile the pursuit of enlightenment with the responsibilities and expectations placed upon me by others? The Buddha turned his gaze to Kashava, his eyes serene. As he began to share a tale of profound insight, there was a potter named Vishram who sought perfection in his art, dedicating himself entirely to crafting flawless vases. Buddha began, yet he grew frustrated with each imperfection, discarding countless works, and his loved ones grew distant from his relentless pursuit. One day, a simple child admired a cracked vase, seeing its unique beauty, and taught Vishram to cherish imperfection's lessons. Balance, Kashava, lies in embracing both your aspirations and responsibilities, allowing each to enrich the other in harmony. Pursue enlightenment with dedication, but honor the relationships and duties that ground and support your journey, Buddha advised softly. Kashava bowed deeply, his heart filled with clarity and the resolve to balance his spiritual path with his earthly commitments. The grove seemed to glow with an inner light as the Buddha's teachings resonated deeply within the hearts of the disciples. Another disciple, an elderly man named Hari, approached slowly, his voice carrying the wisdom and weariness of many years lived. Great teacher, I have experienced loss and change, yet I struggle to find peace in life's impermanent and unpredictable nature. The Buddha regarded Hari with kind understanding, sensing the depths of wisdom and grief interwoven in the fabric of his experiences. Hari, impermanence is both a challenge and a gift, teaching us to value each moment and find meaning in transition. He shared a story of a river, ever flowing and ever changing, carving new paths while nourishing the life it encounters along its way. The river's journey is not hindered by its changes. Instead, it flows freely, embracing each turn and deepening its essence. Hari, like the river, let your experiences shape you, finding peace in life's flow and purpose in its transitions. The elderly man bowed respectfully, his eyes shining with newfound peace and a deeper understanding of life's impermanent beauty. The disciples gathered in quiet reflection, the Buddha's words echoing in their hearts as the night deepened and the grove stilled. The Buddha's teachings illuminated their spirits, like the moonlight casting gentle radiance over the grove, guiding them on their journeys. Each disciple resolved to embrace impermanence, finding balance in life's ever-changing rhythm and drawing strength from the middle paths. Wisdom, the grove of Jetavana stood as a sanctuary of harmony, the Buddha's words resonating like ripples across the still waters of life. Another day, another teaching, as the Buddha and his disciples gathered along the tranquil banks of the Ganges River. The sun dipped low on the horizon, casting a golden glow that danced upon the rippling waters. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.